After we discussed on functions, let's go to lung relationships. The relationship between the lungs and the heart. Heart governs the blood, lung governs the qi. Blood of the heart nourishes the lungs. Lung qi warms the heart and supports it in production and circulation of the blood. The relationship between heart and lungs corresponds to the relationship between qi and blood. Thus, disturbance of the heart can result in disturbance of the lungs and vice versa. Now let's move on to the relationship between lungs and the liver. Lungs govern qi, as liver is responsible for harmonious flow of qi. If liver qi stagnates, it affects the down-bearing function of lung qi. Lung qi can accumulate in the thorax and cause stagnation. Liver requires lung qi to regulate the blood. Lungs stand in interior-exterior relationship with the large intestine. The down-bearing function of lungs is needed by the large intestine in order to convey and transform waste. Thus, if lung qi or lung is deficient, then we can expect disorders in the large intestine. Functionally, large intestine has a closer relationship to the digestive tract and its organs, namely the spleen, the stomach, and the small intestine. Now let's move on to the relationship between the lungs and the spleen. Spleen transforms ingested food into food qi. Food qi is then sent to the lungs, and after that, gathering qi is produced in the lungs by transforming food qi and the inhaled air. True qi is produced in the lungs by transformation of the gathering qi and under the influence of the original yuan qi, as shown in the diagram below. Thus, the quality of true qi depends on the food qi and the spleen function. So it depends on the quality of the food that we ingest and the health of our spleen. So if spleen function is impaired, dampness is then produced. Dampness is sent to the lungs where it accumulates. Spleen is the producer of dampness, while lung storage for dampness. Spleen depends on lung qi to fulfill its function of transformation and transportation. Now for the relationship between the lungs and the kidneys. Lungs govern qi as kidneys are the root of qi. Lungs regulate waterways and aid kidneys to govern water. Kidneys ensure absorption of qi through the lungs. Thus, if kidney yang is deficient, the ability to absorb qi is impaired and qi stagnates in the lungs. If lungs are too weak to fulfill its function of down-bearing the qi, kidneys are affected. Thus, kidney yang supports the lungs in the qi production. We have discussed this earlier. So that's. Now let's start our discussion on lung pathology. There are two types of patterns generally in lung pathology: deficiency patterns and excess patterns. For deficiency patterns, we have lung qi deficiency, lung yin deficiency, and for excess patterns, we have stagnation of lung qi, weak wind in lungs, wind cold in lungs, dryness in lungs, phlegm cold in lungs, and phlegm heat in lungs.